The 2020 Olympic Games were delayed until this year due to the worldwide pandemic. Athletes had to continue training for an extra year and are now getting their shot at competing on the world stage. Joining us today on Newsmakers is one local young woman who has had an incredible life journey, and she is among those athletes who now has the opportunity to compete in Tokyo. Haven Shepherd, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
She is in the Paralympics.
Yes.
And those start at the end of August, right?
Yes, I leave August 14th.
So I know your story because I follow you on social media, but tell everybody how you came to be a Paralympic.
Yeah, so I was born in Vietnam, and I was born to two parents that had an affair and had me. And in Vietnam, women can't divorce husbands. So the story that we're told is that they strapped bombs onto themselves and held me because I was the product of that affair, and like they wanted to be together in that, that crazy way. So they decided to commit a family suicide, and they strapped bombs onto themselves and held me here, and all the damage was done to my legs. And that happened to me when I was about 14 months old, and then I was adopted when I was 16 months old.
Mm-hmm. And that damaged your legs and from the knee below, right?
Yes. I'm a bilateral amputee.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like that my whole life. Some people might technically call me, I don't, like when you're born with a disability, but just because I've never known a life with legs.
Right.
So I'm in that group with all those kids.
And it's just natural for you now.
Oh yeah, I never remembered having legs. I was telling my mom, we were looking through stuff because I recently graduated, and I was like, I don't think I want to see myself with legs if I ever get like baby
Right.
pictures. And she was like, why? I was like, because I like not having legs. I don't want to think about a life with legs.
It's
and
part
so,
of your identity.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. My friends say I definitely have my only personality trait is getting to cut in line at theme parks and anywhere else we go. They call my car the magic carpet because I have a handicap sticker.
Yeah, and you can park anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And you did just get your license not too long ago, right? And got a new car and...
Yes, I was surprised. I got a brand new car when I was 16. I wanted a surprise party that I planned. So, but getting a car was the surprise. It was probably the best 16th birthday party a girl could ever ask for.
Well, and you're now... Well, you were adopted by a large family,
Mm-hmm.
right? How many siblings do you have?
I have 4 sisters and I have 2 brothers.
That's a pretty big family.
Yes.
And now those sisters, some of them are married and there's grandkids. And,
Yes, all of them are married now, and all of them have kids except for me. And a couple of my siblings just got done with, they're in their career now. They graduated college, and now they have their own family, which is kind of crazy. I'm the last one at home, and I was like, wow, guys, to my parents.
Yeah.
This is nice.
To be the only child.
Yeah.
Did you have any siblings in Vietnam?
I have one half sister, and she belonged to my biological mom,
Okay.
and she's still in Vietnam. And I still have both of my mom's side's grandparents.
And I saw an interview that your mom did, and it was pretty emotional, talking about how I guess I read the interview, about how your mom and dad made the trip over there and weren't, at that time, going to be your adoptive parents, and brought you back and handed you over to some people who it turned out not to work, which is, I guess, the way it was meant to be. And your mom's pretty emotional, but she said that you were their missing piece, of their family.
Yeah, that story's kind of crazy because the woman who found me, Pam Cope, she had her organization Touch a Life, and she saw me in a newspaper, and she wanted to go and rescue me. And my parents were in the process of adopting, and my mom was like, let's just go on this trip and see if we really want to do this. And they spent upwards to like 3 weeks with me. And she just fell in love with me, and she couldn't let me go. And so, definitely didn't know how my life would have been if I got adopted by the other family.
Yeah, it turned out perfect.
Yes, it did.
So talk about your training. What do you go through to be a Paralympic?
Yeah, so I've been doing this I started when I was 10, I'm 18 now. And that's actually pretty late for swimmers. You actually need to start a little bit early. But I've been doing this since I was 10 years old. I went to trials in 2016 when I was 13. The youngest one there wasn't expected to make the team. I definitely was way too young to be there, too, to think about the Paralympics or the Olympics in that matter. So I definitely think I was a little too young to be on that that national stage, and I remember gripping the blocks for my 100 breaststroke and thinking, okay, if I touch second, I'm going to Rio de Janeiro, and if I touch last, I get to go to Disney World. I went to Disney World with my parents, so. But my training regimen has definitely intense throughout the years. I mean, I think when I really got serious was when I was 14, and that was in 2017, so it was after the Paralympics. So I definitely knew Tokyo was my best shot. And yeah, I've done this ever since. I go to 3 doubles a week. I go to weights 3 times a week, and I swim every single night. And Saturday mornings.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, summer season's a little bit more fun because we swim all mornings and we only do 3 night practices. So I have my nights free a little bit more, but yeah, definitely summer season's a lot more fun.
And running is what you had originally chose, right?
Yes, it's actually quite embarrassing that I actually thought I had a chance in having a career in running, because I absolutely hate running with a very burning passion. I mean, I won't, like, after a certain amount of time in the weight room and, like, I'm breathing heavy and sweat dripping down my face, I'm like, I'm done. Like, that's what I hated about track. I always I remember my mom taking me to track and just crying, and I was telling her, sweat's in my eyes, and I'm breathing heavy, and I'm hot, and this is not fun. So she took me out of that after a couple years of doing that. But I was actually like, okay, good. I got invited to go to junior nationals and didn't go because I didn't want to. But then she put me in a swimming clinic, and I've swam my whole life. My dad taught me how to swim from a very young age, so it just.
Did you have a family pool, right?
Yeah, we had a big pool, and that was one of the things that he always taught his kids is how to swim, because there's a pool in your backyard. You fall in.
Right.
Gone. So I always knew how to swim, but I definitely didn't know the strokes. And I spent a week with my uncle, who was a swim coach in California, before my very first swimming ever, which was at the Olympic Training Center. And a little 10-year-old me just there, and they asked me, so how long have you been swimming? Oh, about 7 days, which wasn't true, but that's how long it took me to learn the strokes. And turns out I was pretty good, and I got signed up for club swimming in Webb City, and I've stuck with that ever since.
Pretty good. I think you're probably pretty great, aren't you? So talk about high school. You, as a teenager, you don't get to do high school like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I decided to go pro when I was around 15 years old, so that definitely meant swimming was kind of like the top priority. It was going to be my job for a long time. So my mom took me out of school my 8th grade year, so like right before I went into high school. She took me out because she just saw the burnout in me. Sure. I missed 56 days of school that year, and after like Christmas break, I remember we got back from one of the Dakotas, and I was at an international swim meet, and like I needed to be at top of my game.
Sure.
But I'm still having to do like algebra like when I get back to the hotel. So she definitely thought there needed to be a change, and all I really did when I was in school was I would wake up, I would go to school for like 8 hours, and then I would go home, grab a snack, and then I would go to practice. And we did that for about 3 years. And at some point there needed to be a little give, because she saw me kind of flutter away. Right. And then so definitely that was the best option. But yeah, I never have stepped foot into high school. I have stepped in and walked in high school, and I always think like, wow, this could have been my life.
Yeah.
I've joked with a lot of people with not going to high school, I always say, I still think High School Musical is real because I never went to high school. So
kids sing and dance in the hallways.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, I mean, it was a sacrifice, but not really, because it really saved you.
Yeah, it really saved just who I was. I mean, I think it was just the hardest on my mom because like, I'm just like a can't stop, won't stop, like no cop, no stop, no sleep, no rest.
Right.
So, and I also needed to perform at my highest level because I was a professional at that point. And so, when you're doing swimming full time and then thinking about school, I mean, it was just a really hard balance. And I was never seeing my dad, and because he was at work and then I was at swim practice, he would come home, and I just had to sacrifice a lot. My mom did too, so homeschooling was definitely the best option. I really liked it. I like staying at home. It's definitely made me more of a homebody.
But you're a world traveler.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do travel a lot. That's what people don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, anytime we're in a hotel and I'm with my friends and they're like, let's go downstairs and talk to this person. I'm like, no.
I just stay in my room.
I want to stay in my room.
So you've been to Lima, Peru. You competed in, was it an Olympic Games?
Parapan Games.
Parapan Games. And you won some medals. What'd you win?
I won 2 silvers and 1 bronze. And a kind of a gold medal.
Kind of a gold medal?
Kind of a gold medal. We got one of our girls false started in our relay, and we won gold by like 15 seconds, but they called it back that we were disqualified. So I kind of have a gold medal.
You were fast enough for one. And you were in New York recently?
Yes, I was just in New York for a Google commercial.
That's great. So crazy. How do you find the courage and the strength to do all of that? Because you kind of do it on your own, don't you?
Yeah. My sister Chloe, she was having her baby, so my mom stayed back with her. And I just got back from a swim meet in Dallas, and literally 2 days later, I left for New York City with Ivy Littles, who she went to school here. But it was just kind of a crazy thing because at this point, I definitely know the ropes, and I can pretty much do a lot of things on my own. Yeah. But there's times where my mom's like, unload the dishwasher, and I'm like, whoa, like you're treating me like a 17-year-old all of a sudden. Like I just answered I was just in a Zoom meeting with the high up people. So, but
and you're like, check, okay, I'll go unload the dishwasher.
Yes, it's not worth the fight. Even.
Right. And you're part of a group out of California that you team up with other Paralympics or other.
Yeah, the Challenge Athletes Foundation. They do a triathlon every year to raise money for kids who need wheelchairs and like money to travel to Paralympic swim meets or running legs. And it's a really fun event in California in the middle of October. And some of my best friends, we all meet up there, and that's the only time we really get to see each other. But I do the swimming leg of the triathlon, and then I tag up with somebody and they do the bike, and then somebody teams up and they do the run.
So you don't have to run?
No.
You're like,
they keep on asking me if I want to do a wheelchair bike, and I'm like, no, like my arm, like I only have my arms.
Right.
After a long day, my arms are just done.
Oh, I'm sure. But in the pool, you get to take off your legs, and does that feel natural to you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of all the things I've done, like tried different sports and stuff, swimming just really stuck because I got to take off my legs. And like when I was in school, I had to wear my legs all day and go up and down stairs and go to 8 classes. And it was just a lot on my body. So when I would get in the water, all that stress and weight was just taken off. And also swimming brings a lot of healing because, I'm definitely in the generation where we can't really stay quiet for a long time. I mean, come on, we have
right.
computers in our back of our pockets that keep us entertained all day.
Yeah.
But swimming is quiet. There's no sound, and
it centers you.
Yeah, it's just so peaceful. And by the time when it gets to the end of the day, and I run through I have like a checklist of everything I think about throughout a swim practice. And by the time I get home, like I'm passed out, like I'm tapped out, nothing's left.
But you're also you I guess model, or you wear clothes that you're sponsor, Jolyn,
yeah.
swimwear,
Yes.
and then Gymshark.
Gymshark.
You're an ambassador. You just do all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, I definitely feel like at times a washed up athlete, but then and then all of a sudden I have an 18th birthday party.
I say at the ripe old age of
like,
18.
Yeah, at 18 I just feel so old. I'm laying in bed whining to my mom like, I have done nothing in my life. What do I do, Lachelle?
Oh, come on.
But then it hits me. I'm like, oh, I'm only 18.
Yeah, you got so much more to do. But you've been interviewed by all the major networks. You were on Good Morning America recently. The BBC interviewed you. You are, I think, a social media influencer. You did a beta testing with Instagram recently. What was that about?
It was about their new setting on Instagram where you can take away, like, for other people to see the like button, or like you can take away comments. And I was in that just giving my input as just kind of a different source, and I didn't see anything wrong with it because it was, it's your choice to show your likes or to see other people's likes. I didn't see really anything wrong with it. If anything, it would just kind of help the making Instagram casual again, because I can't tell you how many times, and I'm even guilty of it myself, like I'm making myself look I have this perfect life where everything is going great, but you don't see the flip side of, oh, like I am 2 weeks behind on laundry. Like,
right.
So I really liked being a part of that project, and it obviously opened a lot of doors, and I feel like people responded well to it.
And it's about image, right? What you feel like you have to present to the world, a good face, a good body, but you don't, and that allows you to keep that in check.
Yeah, it was definitely because I'm guilty of this, of trying to make myself appear like I have my crap together, but you see me at Target and I'm like fresh out of swim practice, my eyes are bloodshot, and I'm like, yeah, I'm really sorry. You did not get. I always tell people before they see me or like try to talk to me, I'm just like, I'm really sorry. You're getting the Spider-Man with the sweatpants on right now. Like, you're not gonna get perfect Peter Parker. I'm just the Spider-Man with the sweatpants on. So, yeah, definitely, and it's making everything more casual, where people would get really timid when they would see me, but now it's just like, oh, hey, Heyman, and you just talk for 20 minutes at Target.
Well, and people are people afraid to talk to you, or do you think because of your fake legs? What do you?
They're my prosthetics. My legs. They're my legs.
Yeah, they're your legs.
I have to keep in check. My friends that are also like in the Paralympics are like, I told them, I was like, I need to quit saying I don't have legs, because I have legs, I just don't have feet. So
right, but you did have feet on a couple of your.
I did have feet. I just didn't get to keep them.
Oh, they were just trial.
Yeah. Only a 14-month free trial.
That's funny, and they're pretty expensive, right, to replace your prosthetics?
Yes, I have broken many feet, especially when I was growing around when I was like 13. I think in one summer I broke like 6 feet at different occasions.
Wow.
Like just jumping up and down. I was at the Sonic playground of all places, and I broke both of them, and I'm like, okay, I can't walk anywhere now. Like, carry me, Dad.
Oh my goodness. And so what do you do to mentor other athletes that have your same challenge?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like, yeah, your parents will really, they know you the best, but there's nothing like meeting people with the same circumstances as you. I mean, my friends that have gone through cancer when they were like 12 or 10 years old, those are friends to this day. The stuff that they had to, nobody will ever understand what they went through. Like, going through cancer as a kid is just something you can't even kind of wrap your mind around. And then you get surrounded by people that have been in that situation, and it's crazy because all of us have really just grown up from a very young age. Like, we know the true meaning of life, of like, this is what life is supposed to be like, not worrying about what people think of you, because obviously we went through something traumatic. So and and how I mentor people, I just look at my life, like nothing really holds me back. Like I don't think every single day that like I don't have legs. Like I put on
me, yeah.
Oh yeah, like I put on my legs to walk, and you put on your glasses to see. Like it's people think I'm just so wrapped my head around like not having legs all the time, but I would just say just have gratitude. That's always what I start out with is gratitude, because when you start with being with stuff you're thankful for, like oh, I get to have legs, I get to have this career, I get to be a professional swimmer, and then not having legs doesn't really matter.
And what do you see in your future 5-6 years down the road? Is it more Olympics? Is it?
I'll definitely go to Paris. That's in 3 years, and I really think I'll be tapped out by then, because I've been doing this for 8 years and I'm really tapped out now.
Yeah.
But we'll see if I'll make it to LA. But I kind of want to. I like change. I want to see what's new, what a different career would look like. This is my career now, and I'm enjoying it right now.
Sure.
But definitely after Paris, I think I'll be a little like, oh, let's try something new.
And at that point, you're just, what, 23, 24?
Yeah, exactly.
Where most people are starting a new career anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I even think, like, I was even telling my mom, I was like, I'm retiring after this year. And then she says again, hey, man, you're 18. What are you going to do? And I'm like, okay.
Go to school.
Yeah. But definitely, and 23, I'm still going to be 20.
So young.
Yeah, I'm so young. And I always thought about when I was 13, like, oh, I want to be 17 when I go to Tokyo, and I don't feel any different. So if anything, I'm probably going to feel the same way.
So what's it like at the Olympics? What do you, from your perspective as one of the participants?
I've never been to a Paralympics. I've only gone to, haven't been to Worlds either. I've only been to the Parapan and the World Series. So I've never competed on that type of level before. I've competed against all those girls, but never on that broad of a level of the whole world's watching. It's just like usually the swimming world. But I'm just going to have fun. I don't put too much pressure on myself. I'm just...
You do, though, before the trials. You put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Oh, yeah. It was kind of like go big or go home at trials. I was like... I can't say bad words, but I was like, guns loaded, let's go.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. There's so much stress towards trials because you want to make that team so bad.
Right.
And after you know you're on the team, it's just kind of like, well, I did it. Like,
now you can breathe.
Now you can breathe, and all I'm really hoping for is just to do my best. And I'm not a laid back person, but I'm just kind of like, oh, like I'm going to Asia this summer.
That's so fun. And then you said Paris after that?
Paris is in 3 years, yeah.
And is that another Olympics?
Yes.
Okay. And it's 3 years because this one was moved.
Yeah, this one was 5 years, and then and then in Paris, the Olympic years will be back on the regular cycle.
Okay. And you like to have fun. You like to laugh. And people, do they feel uncomfortable or make fun because of your challenges? I saw a video where you took your leg off and were dancing. Won a dance competition?
Yeah. Yeah, I stole the show at that wedding. I don't think parents are terrified of their children coming up to me. But like, I was in the air, I flew home by myself, and I was standing at my gate, and all of a sudden this little girl's rubbing my leg. And her mom was just mortified, and I thought it was it's fine. I let kids come up and touch my legs if they want to, but if anything, I think people are more afraid of how socially awkward I am, and
But you're not.
I am. I really am. Like, just catch me somewhere, and you will have an awkward encounter with me. Anybody out there, you will have an awkward encounter with me. I'm just. My sisters say I'm like really quirky, and
how can you not be though?
Exactly. I mean, it just makes me more unique. So.
And you have that going for you already, though.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta stay out of the antique store because I just bring home anything I see that I like. So I think that's where that comes from.
And so basically your outlook on life is just, like you said, go big or go home.
Yeah, I was ready for, you talk about this moment for 5 years and then, nothing's really happened. Like I just got picked on. They literally just said my name. Nothing's really happened yet. But like everything's so much more relaxed now that I know.
It's a big deal, though.
It's a big deal, yeah. And I'm getting emails up the wall now, so.
So what, is your family going to go with you, or are they allowed to go with you?
So for COVID, there's a lot of different rules. Like the Olympic team right now, they're in Hawaii at the University of Hawaii for their training camp. We had our training camp right after the meet. So we'll leave August 14th to go to Japan, and we'll stay at the United States Air Base, and then we'll head in. Then 10 days later, we'll move into the village, and all our processing will be there, like all of our clothes and podium gear. That will already be there, but in the past, before COVID, you got to try everything on first and get it tailored. But yeah, my parents don't get to come. If I was a minor, my parents would have gotten to come. I just missed that cutoff by a couple months.
Darn it.
I know. And I think, also, after your last race, you have to leave within 48 hours because the less people in the village, the better. So don't be expecting a big closing ceremony because everybody has to leave as soon as possible.
Well, and if people want to follow you, they can find you on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Haven Faith Shepherd, and Shepherd like German Shepherd. I can't tell you how many jerseys are spelled wrong
Right.
on our T-shirts.
Well, we really appreciate you being here and taking
you.
time out of your busy schedule, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
In the Olympics. It's such a great honor.
Thank you for having me.
And we want to say thanks again to Haven, and best of wishes for her competition in Tokyo. It's really been a privilege talking with you today.
Thank you.
This is Newsmakers on KGCS TV from the Ruth Colvin Studios here at Missouri Southern State University. And I'm Bobby Potriff. We'll see you again soon.
Missouri Southern State University is roaring back this fall with in-person classes and a full slate of campus activities and athletic events. We're also recognizing your academic success with our new MOSO Merit Scholarships, offering first-time freshmen up to $5,000 per year. Discover what the world has to offer with the help of experienced faculty members who know you by name in hands-on learning environments. Our admissions and financial aid teams are here to help you get started. Learn more at mssu.edu/roaringback and be ready to roar with us this fall.